Welcome back to another OWCS roster news update. WhoRU is officially moving on from Weey and joining Gen.G for Stage 2 of OWCS EMEA. Recently, there's been a lot of rumblings about this, and now, as of yesterday, it is official, and this is pretty significant for this team. They've completely reinvented the wheel at their DPS line, going from Sauna and TopDragon to now alexyOWL and WhoRU, hoping that these two pieces give them some kind of boost and the edge they were looking for that they didn't quite have in Stage 1. Obviously, for a partner team, we were expecting a lot more. They were very inconsistent across the board, so some kind of change was needed. We'll see if DPS was the exact thing they needed, but it does feel a bit more balanced. It makes a lot more sense. You have WhoRU and alexyOWL kind of doing their own thing. You have a true hit scan, and now you have a veteran of the game on your team. Something that I think this team was missing. Obviously, they have certain players like Mag that have been around for a while, but WhoRU is in a class of his own. This guy's been a pro for nearly a decade now. He knows what it takes to win. He's been on a lot of successful teams, and maybe he can be a leader by example on this team and, I don't know, be more composed in the clutch to give this team just a bit of a power boost. Now, there's no way of saying for sure if these DPS changes were really what this team needed to take it to another level in terms of their success, but you've got to start somewhere, and I would argue that going from TopDragon to WhoRU can be seen at the very least as a floor raiser. We'll see if it's truly a bona fide upgrade, but at the very least, I think WhoRU gives you more consistent play. He's a vet of the game that's been doing this for a while. He has more experience than a guy like TopDragon. You could argue at his peak, he's more of an explosive player as well. It'll give Gen.G a bit more of a carry touch, especially if we get the WhoRU that we witnessed on Weey just like a month or so ago. That team did not have high expectations, but he was able to help carry them to a top 4 finish in Korea. That's some really impressive stuff. This guy has still got it, and I think so long as he's on his comfort picks, he's going to make some big plays for this team. Now, of course, this is all hypothetical. It's all on paper at the end of the day. We don't know how this team's going to mesh together, and if this is what the team really needed, but it could be seen as a work in progress. Maybe they don't figure it all out here in Stage 2. Maybe they make some additional roster moves after Stage 3, Stage 4, whatever it is. So by the time we get to the ultimate playoff race, they have fully figured out their team, and they're a lot different than they once were before. You have to start somewhere, and in my opinion, this is one of the better places you could have started because of the fact that WhoRU and alexyOWL are both really good players that have been playing some great Overwatch recently, and they've both been waiting for their opportunity. I think that's important. They've been working hard for this moment, and they want to win. They want to keep getting better while achieving that stability, and they get that opportunity here. alexyOWL is trying to prove himself as a young player, while WhoRU just feels like he deserves to be in the spotlight, just knowing how he's played in his very long but very impressive career. It's worth trying to make these risky moves now while you have time to figure it out, because EMEA, it's still very wide open. Anyone can take this region. It's still early on. Virtus Pro, they were very dominant in this region, but you don't know what could happen afterwards as the meta evolves, as you change your team, as your confidence level grows. And if Virtus Pro are still a problem, you can at least look at it from the aspect that top 2 could be more achievable now since you made these adjustments, and you could have just a touch more firepower that you were lacking that put you behind some of these teams. We know Gen.G is capable. They've had some upsets go their way. They've been competitive against some solid teams, but it just felt like they were missing something. I'm going to continue to hammer home that point because that's just the truth. Inconsistency with the play. And what do you have to do to get more consistent? Sign some players that put you over the edge, that make the lives of some of your other players a bit easier. And WhoRU and alexyOWL kind of fit that bill to me. Now, from the perspective of WhoRU purely, I like it. As much as I appreciated how TopDragon carried that team in Stage 1, WhoRU to me is just a guy that brings more experience, that brings more carry potential with less of those mental lapses. The guy just seems like he's on the top of his game still. In the Overwatch 2 era, he has been incredibly dominant while carrying some weaker teams. I mean, we saw Overwatch League teams reach out to him in the playoffs in 2023 because he was so desirable for his Gen.G play, you know? He can hang in there with the best of the best on this hero, and that's going to be something that really benefits Gen.G. Now, of course, this does depend on how much they can actually get away with playing Gen.G, but we've seen a lot of other teams maybe break out WhoRU Gen.G when it's not the most advised and still be successful, so maybe Krusty and the boys can figure out some kind of strategy. Sometimes you just gotta let WhoRU cook on his comfort pick, and he'll carry you the rest of the way. That's how I'm taking it. WhoRU still has it. We saw him beat Falcons earlier this season, and in general, he's made some big upsets happen throughout the years on teams that have no business beating some high-level rosters. This guy knows what it takes to win. He is a winner at heart. And if that means sacrificing some flexibility to let him carry, then so be it, because he's probably going to have some of those games, some of those out-of-body experiences, and that's something Gen.G desperately needs. Now, of course, in the scenario where you really just can't play Gen.G, it's going to be a lot more questionable, and we'll have to see if they can hang in there, because I, for one, and I mean no offense here because I love the guy, have never been the biggest fan of his overall hero pool. He's not bad on some heroes. He's shown promise here and there on Tracer, on Mei, Echo, Pharah, etc., but never those elite traits that you see when he's on the Gen.G, and that's what worries me the most. Now, I've seen teams still win even when he doesn't play Gen.G, but it's not to the same extent, you know? That consistency, consistently being able to pop off on non-Gen.G setups is the real challenge for WhoRU and now Gen.G as well. I'm curious to see how they implement certain strategies and if they can get around that potential weakness, or if WhoRU can continue to show more improvements with his hero pool over time. That's going to be the thing that decides how far Gen.G can go, under the condition that Gen.G isn't all that favorable in the meta. Regardless, he's coming home, boys. For the first time in a long time, he's back where he belongs, where his career started. You know, Lunatic High, Gen.G, Seoul Dynasty, all kind of affiliated with each other. He's back home. The absolute legend, the former MVP on Gen.G himself. There's reasons this acquisition can go very poorly or very well. It's up to you to decide where you are on the spectrum. I, for one, am slightly more on the optimistic side of things, just because, again, WhoRU and the type of caliber player he is gets me excited. This is something they need. Someone that can lead by example, someone that won't crumble under the pressure, somebody who consistently makes great plays on a daily basis, who still has the motivation to improve and win. This guy has not been knocked out by Father Time just yet, and I think he'll provide some well-needed leadership in one way or another for this Gen.G team. Now, for some of the newer-aged fans out there, you may be asking yourselves, can WhoRU play on an English-speaking roster, just knowing some of his recent history? Well, the answer to that is a resounding yes. You have to go back in time a bit, but back in the day, say 2018-ish, he played on Fusion University, the Philadelphia Fusion's Tier 2 team and contenders, and he played with the likes of Alarm, rest in peace, as well as Beast Halo, and Zachary, and Elk. That was a mixed environment, and he was very successful on that Fusion University team, so I don't think that's going to be a problem whatsoever. It's been a while, but I'm sure he'll do just fine. And those are my overall feelings on the WhoRU pickup by Gen.G. Definitely like it more than I dislike it, but maybe you disagree. But if you're wondering what happened with TopDragon, he is basically just being traded for WhoRU without the actual transaction itself. Gen.G decided to let go of him. They didn't want him. They thought WhoRU was a more desirable pickup. So Weey went out there and got TopDragon as their new flex DPS, at least for the time being. It seems like a downgrade just knowing how WhoRU played in Stage 1 of OWCS Korea, but TopDragon's not a bad pickup at all. He's still a somewhat young player with a lot of potential to grow. He showed some great flashes on Gen.G in Stage 1, so maybe he can help keep the spirit of this team alive, and they can be competitive heading into Stage 2. And that pretty much wraps it up for me. Let me know what you think about this all down in the comments section. Are you a fan of WhoRU going to Gen.G, or are you disappointed to see him leave Korea? Make sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and of course, make sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all of the most recent OWCS roster news and updates. I've been ATP, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.